Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 21st of June, 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we bring you the 5 news items that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished up more than 1% today, the first rise in 8 sessions, much needed. Energy and financial stocks did best. Woodside led the way, rising 3.3%, while the other large group in the sector, Santos, jumped by 1.2%. Beach Energy was up 4.5%. Iron ore prices also rebounded, having fallen sharply on Monday. BHP rallied 1.7%, Rio Tinto was up 2.3%, and Fortescue Metals ended 3.5% higher. The big falls came among the Queensland-based coal stocks after that state's government upped royalties imposed on the miners. Bowen Coking Coal, for example, fell 39%, while Stanwell Resources dropped nearly 10%. As I mentioned, the banks did well. National Australia Bank led the way, up nearly 4%. Westpac and ANZ were both up more than 2.5%, while Commonwealth Bank jumped 2%. Good to have a good news story, finally, when it comes to the markets. Story number 2, Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Phil Lowe today said he didn't think the economy was heading for a recession, but interest rates will have to rise more. While financial markets have priced in a 4% cash rate by the end of the year, up from the current level of 0.85%, Dr. Lowe thought it wouldn't get that high, though he did concede that financial markets have outpointed the central bank recently in terms of predicting interest rates. Still, he doesn't think the cash rate will have to get up to those levels. Story number 3. In other economic news, the ANZ Roy Morgan Weekly Survey showed a rise in consumer sentiment. That is good news. ANZ's head of Australian economics, David Plank, said it probably reflected the strong labour force data out last week. Story number 5. Energy Australia, the nation's third largest electricity company, has released a profit warning after suffering from volatile power market conditions and ongoing issues running its 2 big coal-fired power stations in Victoria and New South Wales. Now, the power group's been forced to buy expensive supplies to meet customer contracts and cover a shortage of generation, according to a report in The Australian. The Melbourne-based company, owned by Hong Kong's CLP Group, has suffered a series of outages at its Yallourn coal plant in Victoria and has endured several years of coal supply problems at its Mount Piper power station in New South Wales. Energy Australia's contributions to its parent's operating earnings for the 5 months to May 31 was 1.1 billion Hong Kong dollars lower than the same time last year. This is the other side of the energy debate. The generators aren't doing as well as they should. And story number 5, the United Kingdom has toughened regulations around buy now, pay later operators and will require customer affordability checks. The UK is one of the first major jurisdictions to introduce legislation to govern buy now, pay later operators like Afterpay, Klarna and Zip. While share prices of many of the players have fallen recently, customers still like the payment system, and in the end, the customer tends to win. In the UK, buy now, pay later lenders will have to ensure loans are affordable and advertisements need to be fair, clear and not misleading. Other jurisdictions, including Australia and the US, are considering similar forms of legislation. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 21st of May, 2022. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.